here. And today we're going to deep dive into the topic of self-mastery, which is a topic that me and Cam have been deep diving into for the past however many years, just trying to always improve, always be the better version of ourselves. So within self-mastery, we want to talk about a few things. We want to talk about how when you focus on self-mastery, certain things, they just come to you. We want to talk about how there's different levels of self-mastery. And do you ever really become fully a master of yourself? So we want to talk about those few things. I'm going to let Cam kick it off as he talks about those things that come to you when you focus on self-mastery.
Yeah, a lot of times I think we get caught up in the rat race of chasing. We're chasing our dreams, chasing after money, chasing after love, all those things. And we're all guilty of it, me and Rome. But I think the last year I focused and learned more about like self-mastery and letting it come to you instead of chasing. So I think well, let me break that down first. So basically, like, self-mastery is the art of looking within, tapping back into your source energy and living from the inside out instead of from the outside in. Because a lot of us try to change our circumstances, our lives from the outside. We're trying to control everything on the outside, but all change starts within. So it's like, perfect example, this shirt I'm wearing. Someone had to think about it before it came to fruition. The house you live in, someone had to think about the plans of that before it came to fruition. So everything starts within before, it becomes fruition. So
Just a little bossy back on that one piece. A lot of people call that shadow work. And it's called shadow work because you have to go inside the dark to bring out the light. So that's a part of self-mastery. So when you hear some people say, I've been doing shadow work, I know it sounds like some kung fu or something like that, but it's really just about going inside yourself and bringing out the light. But go ahead.
Yeah. And I think what really kicked this off for me was at the end of last year when we said we want to end the fourth quarter strong and we started doing 75 hard.
Yeah.
And I noticed when I set my intentions for what I wanted and what I want to do, and then I just start working on myself. So 75 hard in itself is already mastering yourself because you're mastering your discipline and your willpower and your drive. So with me doing that and working on other things from within, I started seeing like all these blessings to start rolling in. Like the fourth quarter, I made so much money. Like I made all the money back I spent on the Africa trip, like within 2 weeks after buying the ticket. Like all these opportunities were coming. I was getting booked left and right, this back to back. And I was like, it's funny, like when I'm just like focused on that, like let me book this, let me get this, and trying to do it just from the outside, it don't come in like that. But when I just set my intention and took focus out the outcome and just worked on me and improving me, everything came. So that taught me a valuable lesson that when I improve myself, everything outside and around me improves. Even the people in my lives, that improves. So that's what I want to get into today about self-mastery. And I don't know if you want to piggyback on that before we break it down.
It's just the moment you focus inward, your outside vision becomes clear. It's something that we all kind of like know, but we don't really practice it. Like we know it, but it's like because of whether it's societal pressures or parental pressures or just friends, peer pressure, it's just like you want to always chase, like he said. And a lot of times you end up looking back and like, well, what was I chasing for? Because as soon as I stopped, that's when everything, that's when everything came to me. So, I know you said you had an example you wanted to go into.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things that we all focus on is money, and it's like, we're guilty of it too, is like we got to stop like focusing on money because money is the end result of giving value. So focus on giving and giving value and the money will come. It's almost like, for example, your job pays you because you bring value to that job. Without that value, they wouldn't pay you, they wouldn't hire you. So don't focus on like, man, I want $1 million. Focus on, what can I do to master myself that would get me $1 million? So say, for example, if you want to write a book, put the value in that book and then people will buy it and that's how you'll get your money instead of this like focusing on the money. Focus on the art or what you gonna give or what value you gonna present to the world, and it'll come to you. So that's what we're saying when you master yourself instead of trying to live from the outside. So
yeah,
that's my money example.
Yeah, you gotta essentially use self mastery as a GPS, because it can help you navigate certain things. It can help you navigate whether or not you need to do this certain project, because you might start working on yourself and be like, yo, I thought I wanted to do that, but now that I'm working on myself, I know I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? So use it as a navigation system to eliminate those things that aren't serving you anymore, or to bring those things that are adding value to your life. And that's basically, you know, what he's saying. Like, use that GPS to navigate you and say, like, oh, I was working for the money, but you know what? I have had this book idea that I need to work on, and that's going to bring me that's going to bring the value, that's going to bring the money. So use your self-mastery as a GPS system to kind of help you navigate those certain, mountaintops or those hills that you got to get over in life. So, yeah.
Think about it, like, we all know people that work multiple jobs. Like, well, I never met anyone who worked multiple jobs and was rich. Or like wealthy. Like, it's
they
weird.
Were stressed.
It's weird to think, right? Yeah. The more jobs you have, like, you feel like you should have more money.
Nope.
But it's not. It's usually when people say, all right, what do I really want to do? We all have a gift. We all have something that we're passionate about. When we put time into that, we're usually more successful.
You know what's funny? I just thought about this example. My mom, she at one point worked 3 jobs. Wild. 3 jobs, had 2 kids, basically. And, you know, looking back on it, I knew how tired she was. Like, you just, of course, 3 jobs, you tired. Now, she started going to therapy a couple years ago and started really diving into what she wanted. Now she worked 1 job and make more money than when she worked all 3 jobs. It's just funny.
But you see what she did.
She worked on herself.
She worked on herself. She mastered whatever she needed to master, and then she got what she wanted. It came to her.
Yeah.
Even the blessings you said about the house she got.
Yeah,
now,
so
all of that came to her when she started doing the inner work. Like, everything starts within. Like, we can be architects of our future. Yeah. But it starts within. It's like taking that awareness and know, like, all right, what do I need to work on? What do I need? Like, when I told y'all for 75 hard, I was like, I lost my focus. Like, I lost my focus because of certain things that happened. I'm like, I need something that get my discipline and focus back. And 75 hard was perfect, and that shit changed my life. So it's like, look at your, like, audit your life. Like, what do you need to work on? What are your perceived flaws? So maybe you ask your partner, ask a friend, like, what do you think my flaws are? Maybe get a gauge on what the outside thinks. But, always, consult yourself, make sure they ain't projecting on you. But so go to someone you trust, but think about what you need to work on. What do you need to master? Like, me and Rome, we got this podcast. We always trying to master and grow to the next level, and then we try to share it. And then we share it with y'all. So it's never anything that we not doing that we asking y'all to do. So, like, right now for me, for this year, of course, I'm still doing my morning routine. And if anyone never heard of my morning routine, I wake up, put on my high vibrational music. I pray, I burn my palo, set my intentions. I work out. I write 10 things I'm grateful for. I say the Bill Winston prayer affirmation, repeat that.
My man Bill.
Oh, yeah, and then I read at least 10 pages, bare minimum 10 pages. I read. And then usually I get started with my day, and it's set on the right foot when I do that. But now what I've been doing this year is set a nighttime routine. I never had a nighttime routine. So I was like, let me see how that helps. And my nighttime routine is an hour before I go to bed, I turn off, like, my electronics, and I play some high vibrational music. So, I mean, I'm not on the electron. I need the electron to play that, but I'm not on it, basically, for the technical people. So,
people like, you lying.
Yeah. So I just play that. I meditate. I look back over what I learned for the day, because I'm writing in my phone what I've been learning that day. I reflect on my day, see what I can work on. I do my to-do list, and then I pray, say my affirmations again, and I shut it down. And the last thing I do, I clean up my room. So when I wake up, I got a clean environment to wake up to and just get to it, whatever I need to do. Because sometimes waking up and seeing junk, it will just throw you off. So that's my nighttime routine. I'm trying to master trying to master everything in my life, what I'm consuming, what I'm watching, what I'm eating. I stopped drinking. Still smoking, but stop drinking. So only on the weekends, rarely. But I may not do that as much either. So it's like I'm always intentional what I'm trying to do and master and grow, and what I'm reading always helps. So it's like I've seen the changes in the last couple months of taking this approach, how things are just falling into place or coming to me instead of me having to chase it. And trust me, it's a beautiful thing.
And self mastery, I think it starts with understanding when you don't feel congruent, like when you're not feeling in alignment, and that's kind of how we